All right, so today I want to talk about mission and purpose. All right, and I want to talk about ValorWell's big mission, Operation Claim Success. Now, this is something that we've been working on behind the scenes for a couple of years now, and the reason why is kind of nuanced here. So, in order to explain what this is, I need to explain to you how this process works currently. So, if you're familiar with the VA disability process, you understand that it is an absolute hellscape of barriers and hoops that you got to jump through, and it's kind of crazy. All right, it's absolutely ridiculous. And anytime you have a system that is causing so much confusion and problems for the people that are trying to navigate it, you're going to end up with companies coming out of the woodwork to help veterans out, okay, to help them get through that process. And that's great, except that it generally ends up becoming something that really can only be described as predatory. And that's a problem. All right. Now I know that there's a lot of these companies out here that are just absolutely terrible for veterans, that probably started with the right intentions. But what they do is they go through and they see that, hey, the VA is creating all these terrible problems and we're going to find a workaround. Sounds great. And maybe it helps some people immediately right there. But the problem is that it creates escalation. All right. So you create a workaround and the VA comes up with, more headaches and more barriers to overcome that. And it causes the problem to just keep getting worse and worse. And here's the thing, I think these companies that are doing that actually want that to happen. They like the escalation because the harder it gets, the more confusing and troublesome the process gets, the more you need them. All right, so they do this stuff full well knowing this is going to cause a lot of problems down the road, and that's their job security. What we're offering is a completely different path. So the way it works now, you can file a claim on your own, and let's be honest, unless you have a PhD in VA doctrine, you're probably going to get denied. And then you have to go to a company that either takes from your back pay, and they are going to drag it out for years. Or you find a company that doesn't take anything from your back pay, but they take it from the increase that they get from you. And it's not a little bit. They usually take a lot. They're very efficient. They're great. I once saw a company get a guy from 0 to 100% in, I think it took less than 3 months. And it was 20 minutes of work on their end. And they charged him nearly $20,000. Now, he made a lot more than that, but that's still very predatory. And that's not something that I want us to be. All right. We've all seen these companies out there that, they're like, hey, come here and we'll help you get to 100%. And they find these workarounds, usually mental health, because it's subjective, right? Mental health, headaches, acid reflux. They take these claims and they coach you on how to go after them, on how to get them, because there's no way to prove that it's not happening. They have you pay to see one of their doctors that will give you a nexus letter. So you just pay, they write you the letter, and you go on. Again, it sounds like a good process, but the problem is it makes it worse. All right, because the VA catches on to that and they start making it to where, that nexus letter doesn't mean as much anymore. And now when you see those providers, you get your nexus letter, you take it to the VA, they see this from one of those providers and they go, yeah, no, we need to see all your treatment history. And then you come back and show that, I haven't actually been seeing that doctor. I only saw him one time. Well, now your letter means nothing. So now you've paid for the initial letter. You paid for them to help you with the appeal, and it's all meant nothing. This is an issue, and we're seeing so many times in the past 6 months especially, where veterans are getting audited, where they're having what's called callbacks, where the VA is coming through and saying, you know what, we're gonna take this money back from you. You shouldn't have gotten it, because they're finding all of this fraud, and that's the only way to describe it. And I want to be clear. I understand it. All right, I understand why this feels needed, because the VA system is broken. But you can't take a broken system and then start trying to cheat it and expect for it to not become more problematic. And again, these companies, I don't think they expect it to not get problematic. The more problematic it becomes, the more difficult and challenging and confusing, the more it's going to help them. It's job security. I can't blame them. But we can fix it. So what ValorWell is doing with Operation Claim Success, this is a masterful program. What we're doing is we're creating a network of nationwide clinicians that are working with VA community care. Whether they're working with us, providing VA community care, or if they're independently licensed. All right, this is what makes ValorWell different. If we don't have providers that are available in your state to see you, I'm not going to say, sorry, we can't help you. I'll send you somewhere else. I'll let them make the money off of it. And we'll work with them on helping to write the nexus letters if they're appropriate. All right? I want to be very clear. It's if it's appropriate. I'm not going to have anyone sit there and say, yeah, go to ValorWell and they'll write you a nexus letter no matter what. No. Our clinicians will see you, and if they think it's appropriate, then we're going to help them and educate them on how to write those letters appropriately. All right? So the biggest focus here is when you come here, Operation Claim Success is going to get you the treatment that you need. It's going to get you seen. It's going to get you that treatment. We're going to see you for a few sessions. If you need the next letter, then we write it. We submit that to the VA, or I guess we educate you on how to do it. We don't charge you for any of this. Everything, all of this, is paid for by the VA. All right, you go to the VA's visit, their compensation and pension exam. Even if they deny you there, all right, they deny you from that one-time visit, that's fine. Come back, we appeal it. And we say, guess what? You saw him one time. We've seen him all these times before that. And you know what? We've been seeing him since then. We have a continuum of care here. And we're going to tell them to take that one-time visit letter, that assessment they made from 60 minutes in front of you, and tell them to shove it up their ass. Because we have real clinical evidence, and we will win that every single time. And all of it will be on the VA's dime. This is how we provide real care for the veterans that need it. This is how we do that. It's simple. We have the tools. We can do this. Just no one's been willing to go after it in this way. The only people that have been willing to go after it are the ones who are just wanting to profit off of it at the expense of our veterans. If you are needing help in this and you don't want to get ripped off, come to ValorWell. Let's get you taken care of. All right? And if you're a provider and you're interested in this, come check us out. Go to ValorWell.org. Apply. Let's get you on. Let's get you in our network. We can do this. We can work together as a community to create this system. Millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars is getting spent from veterans into companies that are trying to take advantage of them. That's why we've been kind of working on this in the dark a little bit, because we need to get our footing under us and be ready. Because there's a lot of money that's going to get pulled out of people's pockets and put in the right pockets when this goes. People are going to come for us. What I need is the support from our veteran community so that we can combat that, so we can get the word out, so we can let people know. All right? And again, even if you're a provider that you already take VA community care and you don't want to work under us, you just want to do it, you just want to come in and say, hey, send people my way. We'll send people your way. And we don't ask anything from that. Because our goal is to provide the care. Our goal is to help the people. Our goal is not to make money off of the problem.